I am Aaron. The goal is 83K by 18. It is day 43. We have 806 days left. Currently at technically, hang tight, 375. Um, oh, times 240 plus 3 plus 3. Okay, currently at 615 theoretically a month. Now, that's the intro, okay? Take one take. So, and with those deals, they're not that secure. They're more just like we'll touch base in 2 weeks or we'll touch base in a month. So that's okay though. I guess I kind of been straying sometimes with these videos. I don't know if I'm going to try to have it be like a couple minutes on just recording what I did today and what I plan on doing tomorrow, and then maybe have separate videos for like kind of maybe different mental stuff I'm going through, which probably might be a better idea. But we'll see. Anyway, no, I don't know. We can always do both. No worries. So it's been a lot. Well, I mean, depends on what you think a lot is. I don't even know if this is on. I think it's connected. Anyway, um, well, it's been really good though. I mean, it really has. Like, the more I do this, the more I'm realizing you gotta kind of extract yourself from the day-to-day emotions and be laser focused on what's important. Like, what's the high value activities? And it's gotta every single day show up, show up, show up, show up. And then also how you define, how you label what happens does affect what you do next, right? I mean, nobody likes to feel bad. Like we do things so we feel better, so we change our current state, right? Or we do things that so that bad things won't happen to us, that we would label as bad. Um, but not only am I finding that when I'm more positive, which I want to talk about probably in another video, but that when I'm seeing the trajectory of where this is going or my expectations, like, yeah, hang tight. I'm finding that I'm number one, I'm happier, which kind of really is the point. Now I'm a Christian, and I'm not trying to live for money or live for happiness in the sense of I pursue happiness. I mean, obviously it's what we want, but I got to get it from pursuing God and from obeying Him and I'm being the person I was created to be. But in this context, which really should be derived from that, um, that when I'm not depressed, when I'm not frustrated or upset, that I actually like have better, so I feel better, which is like super valuable because I want to feel better. Um, but even more than that, by feeling better, that also helps me make good decisions and stay consistent, right? And so that's just really helpful. I mean, I've had some frustrating stuff happen since like I think the last time we talked, but it really has. I kind of need to extract myself again from the deal to deal interactions, even stress I put on myself of performance levels. And again, I don't want to be lackadaisical or apathetic, but things are moving in a good direction. Been really working on stuff with Nick training. I'm really trying to dial the sales process, and at this point, it's got to put in reps now, and I'll continue to optimize every day. Study. Oh, I'm really excited. I've kind of been working on a framework to follow to improve sales. So you can study it, right? Okay. Well, Grant Cardone talks about how you have proactive learning and then I think experience learning, right? And experience learning is a little costly. Now it's very valuable, and it can't be necessarily it's it teaches things that can only be found from experience learning. But proactive learning can help minimize mistakes and increase efficiencies. Anyway, so I have been um, yeah, proactive learning and reactive. I mean proactive learning and then well, I guess maybe reactive learning or maybe experience learning. But proactive learning, like you kind of think you elevate your sales in three different ways, right? By study, and I guess this goes for everything. By study, okay? So that's videos or courses or books, things like that. Okay, study. even game footage, like listening to recordings of previous sales calls that you did or other people do, or just even communication interactions. Number two would be um, practice, right? Where you're either pitching yourself, okay, great idea, like on a camera or in a mirror or something, probably a camera so you can record it. Whether it be a role playing with someone else, another really good one, record that too, preferably video. And so, and then the third one, which is actual implementation, right? Um, and they all three are really valuable. Now, by doing enough of one, you can, to some degree, it can make up for a lack of studying another one, but you don't want to have a bottleneck in either three. You want to elevate all three, right? And so that's kind of what I'm focusing on right now. I'm trying to do all three. Uh, there's a video from Nick that I'm gonna watch here in a bit, and I think I know it's gonna be about like the titles like I think it was like implementing over consuming or something like that, and which is really big because I can like binge a lot of stuff, which is really helpful. And I want to get obsessed with sales and obsessed with figuring this out. I commit I will be a master salesman. Start to close and even after to delivery and service and retention. Start to retention or start to customer satisfaction. Now, granted, if I'm not doing the product myself, yes, there are other variables, but I will be a master salesman. Everything. Prospecting all the way to the closing, right? So I commit. I commit. So that's exciting. Grant Cardone stuff seems pretty good. Gonna be going through that. Man, that guy has got some, yeah, good stuff. Of course, Nick, because it's laser focused on this process. And I think I need to, number one, I want to increase my pipeline, and number two, I need to I'm gonna work on the setup really. The setup, right? And also qualifying BOs beforehand, that way I'm not in the setup with a situation that's not great. Anyway, we'll see. So I'm kinda yeah, but things are going good. Like I mean, and I was talking with my business partner, and he's been really he's been he's treated me very well. And I do want to provide value to him as well, but we were having a conversation and he was really great because I honestly have been feeling pressured, like, man, he's dropping hundreds of dollars, even thousands of dollars on these projects. And I have delivered um, a little bit. We've had some deals. It's been okay. Granted, I am still young, but I'm going to start to do this serious, like do this for real, right? I'm going to get professional about it, make professional money. So there's just a lot of emotional stuff got to work through, a lot of um, and actions you got to take. Anyway, but we were talking like, think about it. What if everything was terrible for the next 3 months, for the next 6 months, which I really hope is not the case, right? But even if that is the case, I mean, that saying, it hurts, but it's true. People people overestimate what they can do in a year, but they underestimate what they can do in three. And when I first heard that, I was like, man, I mean, I kind of knew it to be true, but I disliked it right away. It's like, dang, I want it now. And that's valuable. Hustling and like, no, we're hitting these goals now. Like raising your mindset was what's possible, right? Not being reasonable. But then also like having you want short term goals, medium term goals, and then also of course long term goals, right? And so that's helpful to have expectations. And again, because when I get like depressed or discouraged or whatever, like that kind of clams me up, it shuts me down. I don't want that. Not only does it not feel good as a human, but it doesn't even help me get to my goals, right? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, there's that. So like, and I heard Hormozy once say like, how he thinks of goals is, what would I do so that it'd be unreasonable for me not to hit my goals? So like, if I had 10,000 sales calls, it would be unreasonable for me not to be a master sales person by the end of it, right? Because like you'd probably start to get really good at like 2,000, 3,000, right? So same thing here, like you do it. I think this is what Cardone talks about with the 10x rule. Kind of need to go through that, but like so like do the thing, have your focus on doing enough so that it's literally unreasonable for it not to happen, right? What your goal is. So um, that's good because I mean, yeah, I think I may have overestimated what I can do. Now, granted, I'm going to get better at sales. Like the more reps I put in, the better I'm going to be. The more training, the more study, the more practice, the more implementation, real world reps. I'm just excited where this is going to go. But I do got to stay in the game. That's the most important part, right? And then within the game, you just need to, I want to increase my pace, right? I want to get there faster. I want to get more money faster, okay? And so I'm in the game. Like, I could get absolutely abused or taken out for the next 6 months, even for the next year or two, right? Which would stink. Don't think it's going to happen. We've already had pretty good, okay, success. But I'm about to level up here, and I'm just really excited for it. I'm a little, man, like, I think it was, I think I mentioned this in the past, but like Bedros Keuilian also mentioned this just in case, like, my pastor or mom ever sees this. Um, Not PG-13 communication style. However, he talked about like the greatest self-development that you can do is like being an entrepreneur. Or I think he quoted someone else or something like that. And that's so true. Like my goodness. I almost had felt in the past like a little undeserving. It's funny, I don't even have the success, but I see where I'm going and I see where I'm going to be, and even soon, the place that I'm going to be at, what I'm going to do, like I know I'm going to do it. It's somewhat just a matter of time because the time partly is in my control a little bit. But I mean, the bottom line is I don't want to get there really. I'm going to get there fast, like shit. But by the end of this year, by next year, by the time I'm 18, anyway. But I almost felt a little undeserving. Like, man, who do you think you are, right? But like what I've and I don't want to like say have a victim or whatever. Like, well, what I've gone through or blood, sweat, and tears because I'm being real. Like, I'm sitting at a chair with my earbuds in, listening to classical music while I do work and have some phone calls, right? Like again, perspective wise, it's actually not bad. However, it has been a struggle for me. Um, well, I mean, even a little. I guess I don't even want to say that, right? Because I just want to be careful with what I say or what I label good or bad. It's really important. Um, anyway, my throat's getting a bit scratchy. Gotta drink some more water. Um, but like, I understand why, because what I'm saying, like, why doesn't everyone do this? Like, who are you to have this success? And it's funny because again, I don't really have it in the real world, but it's already here mentally, and I'm doing the things that again get it physically, right? I used to think about being rich. I'm like, man, I want to be rich. Had no idea how to get there, so it was only a mental thing. But now I have a mental thing, like the image, the reality to it in my mind, and now I'm just in the process of physically manifesting it. So it is already mine, almost. I mean, it really is. Yeah. So that's kind of, I almost have ownership of it already. I'm just so confident. I know I'm going to get it. Now, I mean, I might be a terrible salesman right now. I mean, it could be, but the process that we're in with digital real estate, it's so good, right? On top of the fact, as I increase my sales skills in general as a salesman, as a communicator, negotiator, closer, oh, right? This is on one, maybe this is one side. They're both going up together, raising like maybe our base as we build out our base. They're both going to shoot high, but at the top is money, right? It's the results. So it's exciting. But um, man, it's already been 14 minutes. I kind of like this stuff. I got to be honest. It's kind of exciting. And I am. I mean, look at my hair. I'm a little, I know. Anyway, I understand why people want to have a 9 to 5. Like, I do. Like, now, I wouldn't agree necessarily in their reasoning of it as being secure, because it's really not to some degree. Does depend on the situation, of course. And I don't think it's necessarily, well, I mean, because it's stabler. It's definitely more stable than entrepreneurship. Like it is, because I've heard Nick talk like, well, your best investment should be yourself, right? You should trust yourself more than anyone else, right? That's where your real safety net is, and I agree, definitely. But it's understandable why the majority of people like the consistency of the 9 to 5. You get fired, you go somewhere else, right? I kind of get that. For me, I'm just kind of going out there. I'm just sending it, right? And it hurts when things don't go as you planned. It hurts the uncertainty, all that sort of stuff. Like, it's not for everyone. I think anyone can do it. Doesn't mean everyone should do it necessarily, right? It's like being a salesperson. Like, I think some people are probably better at sales or just communication or closing or whatever than others. Like, yeah, that makes sense. Don't think we're all at the same or equal level. If you were to have 10 people try to sell the same product maybe for 100 days or whatever, kind of the same system or process control wise, environment control wise. Yeah, probably have some that are better than others. But you could teach sales, like you can. I mean, it's a teachable thing. It's a skill. It really is. There's different personalities to sales, but it's a mindset and it's a skill set, and you learn both. So I'm really excited about that, right? Um, Sales is getting kind of fun as well. Um, it's a science and an art, and I love those two things because the science part is a formula, but then the art part is a little more creative, some soft touches, some finesse, some personal style, right? Okay, probably need to be wrapping this video up. Um, I've been loving the morning routine. I'm doing it right now. I'm committing publicly. Don't think anyone's saying this right now, or probably well, possibly for some months or years. But I'm committing to continue the wake up thing. I mean, it has been a game changer. It really has. And I think I need to wrap this up. Uh, anyway, good stuff's happening. Stay in the game. Keep sending it. Take care.